In beautiful North Yorkshire, in the pretty town of Kirby Moorside, lives auctioneer Angus Ashworth.
110, commission's out. 110 in the room.
Here he runs his auction house.
I am selling at £1,800.
With his devoted team of valuers.
Wow, this is amazing.
Auction clerks.
The electric shock machine. A few of my staff could do with this.
And removal men.
It suits you, that, you know.
Do you think?
Together they help people up and down the country clear their cluttered homes.
Oh my goodness, did all that come out of my house?
Yes.
Using his years of knowledge,
That's probably one of the most valuable 50p's there is.
Angus finds gems,
This is a fantastic collection.
heirlooms,
Oh, look at that. I think that's one of the best things on the job, that.
treasures,
That takes me back to being a 12-year-old boy, that does.
and the weird and wonderful,
We like horses, don't we? Wow. OK.
which he brings back to the auction house
It's the best silver in the world, isn't it? Yorkshire silver.
to put under his gavel,
65, 75, 85, 90, is it?
making them a tidy,
1,200, 1,300, 1,400 pounds.
little
£20,800.
sum.
I think I need a light done.
You all right, Pete? When here all straightened up, it's looking good, isn't it?
There's no rest for the wicked at the auction house. Pete's been busy making space for a big new job that's just come in.
Quite an interesting job. They've got classic cars, motorbikes, all sorts.
Oh, wow.
All right, we'll hit the road then.
It's an hour-and-a-half drive from North Yorkshire to West Yorkshire for Pete, Angus and Barney.
I can see you, Pete, you know, with a classic motorbike and a sidecar with Barney in it.
Yeah.
Like Wallace and Gromit, wouldn't it?
Angus is off to meet married couple Susan and Trevor
That's
Caroline.
me and Caroline and Mum and Dad.
at this three-bedroom house in the village of Wyke on the outskirts of Bradford.
We met when we were both 17. We met at a dance.
You asked me for a dance, didn't you?
Yeah, I asked him out because we were very shy. We've been together ever since, haven't we?
She grew on me.
For the last 20 years, this house has been home to Susan's parents, Terry and Dorene.
They were fantastic parents, always together and very loving and supportive. I've never heard them say a cross word to one another, but they were inseparable.
Sadly, just 7 months ago, Terry passed away.
It was unexpected and it shook the whole family. And it became obvious that Mum was not going to be able to cope on her own.
Soon afterwards, Doreen was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and the family decided that she should move in with Susan's sister Caroline and to sell the house and its contents to fund her care.
We need to make her life as safe as possible. She needs a stair lift and she needs a downstairs toilet. But there was so much furniture and memorabilia, it would have been impossible for us to do it.
We heard about Angus and we thought, yeah, he's the man to do it.
I think they've done a fair bit of sorting, but they're at the stage now where they need some help and for us to come in and
Finish it off.
Yeah.
The boys are going to have their work cut out today because the house is rammed with things collected by retired mechanic Terry.
He was always buying bikes and then selling them and getting another one.
Terry's tastes weren't just confined to cars and motorbikes.
He loved going to Huddersfield second-hand market and coming back with a bargain. I feel like, hopefully, we'll get good homes for these things. People are going to love them like Dad loved them.
Right, it should be along here somewhere. I'm guessing it's one with a garage, Pete. I'll go in and have a look and see what's what.
Hi, Angus.
Oh,
Come
you're right.
in.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
thank you. Ah, Morning. You're
Morning,
right.
Angus.
It looks like you've been busy already sorting out.
Yeah, we've been at it quite a few months now, haven't we?
Anything that Dad valued, I didn't feel I could just throw away.
Yeah.
It's heart-wrenching, but it's something that has to be done, and we need the closure now.
Yeah,
Yeah, end of an era, really.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
absolutely. So you pretty much basically cleared the whole house.
Please.
And
Yes.
a car and bikes, I'm guessing, out in the garage, is it?
Yes, would you like to come along?
I would love to see those, yes, please, thank you. So in here, is it?
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
classic
wow.
car.
Look at that. Hey, what's that? A Singer Gazelle. I love the colour.
Yeah, beautiful, innit?
Founded as a bicycle manufacturer in Coventry in 1875, Singer went on to become one of the major car makers in Britain before ceasing production in 1970. The Gazelle was one of the company's most successful later models, in production from 1956 to 1970.
It's always been in a garage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's always been covered.
Oh, so it should be in fairly good condition.
Well, that was his passion. He's really looked after them all, haven't they?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
From here, it certainly looks well looked after. It's brilliant, isn't it? You open up the garages and there is a classic car, wonderful. But we mustn't get distracted from the task in hand. So I'm looking forward to getting stuck in, seeing what there is, and clearing the property. But yeah, this is a good one.
With the car on its way back to Kirby Moorside, Angus and Pete can get cracking. They need to clear the whole property so it can be sold. So the plan is to take all the contents and examine them back at the auction house.
Do you want to reverse the van in and we'll get loaded?
There's still a whole house full and 2 garages to explore.
This is great. I mean, this is what we love to find. Things like this. And there's a box full of signs there, all different vehicles, the old Bradford trucks, there's Mercedes-Benz, all sorts. And you know what? That sort of thing is hugely collectible. A fellow enthusiast like Terry that wants to do out a garage is going to love some of the signs in here. That will sell on its own. And even these fuel cans. These are really collectible. They're a little bit battered, but they were, you know, they were made to be used.
As Pete packs up the living room, Angus
Sit down and go through this.
gets to look at some of the more shiny things that belong to Terry.
This is a good box of bits to rummage in. There's all sorts. Got a load of watches. There's pocket watches. That's lovely. The watch chain. That's probably gold with gold fob on it.
The word fob comes from an old German word, Fupper, meaning pocket, and usually refers to a pendant attached to the end of a pocket watch to keep it secure. In the Victorian era, it became fashionable to show off the fob. This became known as an Albert, a style reputed to have been started by Prince Albert himself.
Oh, there are some marks on the chain, so the chain's gold. That is sweet.
After 4 hours of hard graft, almost 40 boxes and all the furniture from the house has been loaded onto the van. Now it's time to tackle Terry's favourite thing to collect. At one point, he had a collection of 13 motorcycles, and the 2 classic bikes that remain were his pride and joy.
This is history. Humber were a great British manufacturer, and they released their first motorbike in 1896 with a 2-horsepower engine. You can't imagine it in this day. They developed their style and design, and over the years, it became the motorbike that we know today. But fantastic bit of British history. I think this was made in 1928. It's just a wonderful work of engineering, all the brass work on it, you know, these big lights, the horn. I mean, you know, how great is that? This is a fairly rare bike and it looks in good condition. So I think we're probably looking at about £5,000 to £8,000 for this.
The Humber and Terry's other cherished motorcycle, a 1960s Velocette, are loaded onto the van.
I feel very, very sad. I know they've got to go, but it's an awful feeling. I just hope somebody comes along that really wants these bikes.
And with that, for the first time in 20 years, Susan's parents' home has been completely emptied.
Come on through.
Wow. It looks huge.
Absolutely massive, isn't it?
I've never seen it like this.
Done a great job.
Thank you.
Has it been quite tough today? It's
Yes.
yeah.
The worst bit was seeing the bikes, but just find good homes for them.
I promise I will. Yeah, definitely. We'll get back to the sale room and we'll see you on sale day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look forward to that.
I think you're quite excited for that, aren't you?
Yeah, we are.
Well, it's been a long old day, but what a job. I think Susan has coped quite well. I think, it's going to be emotionally quite tough. I think she can take solace in the fact that the money that they raise is going to help care for her mum, and that's what her dad would have wanted.
We didn't want those things, but somebody will value them. We're happy because it's bringing a certain sort of closure to this. And I know that Dad's things will be found new homes. And somebody like Angus, I trust.
Hear that, Angus? Susan's putting all her faith in you. I really hope you can deliver come auction day.
All right, Gary.
How are we doing?
I've got a surprise for you.
Back at Kirby Moorside, Gary wants a gander at the treasures Pete's brought back to the auction room.
Absolute classic is that.
See, I can ride a bike, can't I? It's going to take some looking through.
VW.
Hang on. Here.
Looking good, MC Petey Pete. Inside, valuers Nick and Mark are already all over Terry's motorbikes.
It's one of the nicest motorbikes we've had, I think.
It's a proper classic.
Yeah, it is.
It's lovely. It's like a British Harley, isn't it?
Obviously, Humber. They made some classic cars.
Well, yeah. It's a good name, isn't it?
Yeah.
I never knew they made motorbikes.
Humber was originally a bicycle manufacturer before moving into motorcycles and automobiles.
This was actually the last production line of the Humber. So 1928, by 1929 the Great Depression was coming, and by 1930 they'd ceased.
This is like one of the last models.
Yeah, which makes that even more exciting.
So this is his as well, the Velocet.
Yeah, the Velocet.
Velocet was another British brand of motorcycle manufactured in Birmingham from 1904 to 1971, when competition from Japanese and Italian manufacturers led to the company's liquidation.
That's a 350, so that's a bigger engine. 1962, and it's a nice
Mods
bike.
and rockers.
Yeah, definitely.
That's lovely, beautiful.
Over the next few weeks, the auction house team research, photograph and catalogue all of the items from Terry and Dorene's house. Mark's been investigating a collection of china that dates as far back as the First World War.
Hi, Mark. You all right?
Hi, Angus.
I didn't see these in the house.
There was quite a large collection of Crested Ware, sort of military, like First World War, really.
Crested Ware was around for a long time, and it started in that Victorian period when people started going on holiday and buying souvenirs.
Most Crested Ware was produced by different pottery companies in Stoke-on-Trent. Standard designs were customised with the town crest from the tourist attraction where they were sold, hence the name Crested Ware.
People even went on holiday in the First World War, and they would have brought out a new range of figures that represented the country at that time. To be fair, the military ones sell better because people also buy them from a military point of view, don't they?
Yeah.
Not just a piece of Crested Ware. They like it because it's a First World War tank.
There's around 20 pieces, which Mark will break into 4 separate lots in the hope of fetching a price of £30 to £40 for each group. Susan and Trevor have made the 70-mile journey from West Yorkshire to Kirby Moorside for today's auction.
I hope we can raise £7,000 or £8,000 because that'd pay for the things that Mum needs for her well-being. We just need things to go, don't we? We don't want to be taking things back with us.
£8,000 and everything needs to go. Angus will need to sell his socks off today.
These are all yours, are you?
I think that reminds me of Dad more than anything. I can still remember him sat on it.
All right. They'll do the best for him, won't they?
They will, they will.
So, we're looking forward to coming today, but she's got mixed feelings about it all. And I don't think she's really been grieving, but I'll look after her.
Just look at that. A lot of memories of this.
Fantastic.
I'm going out on a Sunday. Dad sat there and Mum, looking like she were bobbed down because she's that small.
Things come to an end, don't they?
Hi, how are you doing? You all right?
Fantastic,
thanks,
fantastic.
Good trip across?
Yeah, lovely countryside.
All right, well, it's the good bit of Yorkshire, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Excited?
Yeah, really
yeah,
excited.
yeah.
We've had plenty of people in viewing and got phone lines booked, so fingers crossed, and I'll see you up on the rostrum and I'll let you have a look round. They've put some reserves on the free vehicles, which I think perhaps were a bit on the high side. They've put 6,500 reserve on the Humber. We've had a lot of keen enthusiasts that are interested in those early bikes come and look, but I think it might be a bit of an ask. We should have a good overall result. I'm just not sure if we'll get the vehicles away.
Well, we'll soon find out, Angus, because it's nearly time to start the sale. Emma and Heather have already logged on to oversee today's online bids, and Sam is ready and waiting for portering duties. Angus is eager to get started and wants to do Susan and Trevor proud. After all, they hail from the best part of the UK.
Good Yorkshire one, this one.
Exactly.
We start with the 1960s Singer Gazelle. There we go, all its glory. I've got a few commission bids, various ones on this. Starts me off, I've got 3,200.
Mark and Joe both have interested bidders on their phones, but the car needs to meet the reserve of £4,000 to sell.
At 3,600, 3,700, 3,800, 3,800, at 3,800, 3,900 on the phone. 3,900, yes, 3,900 at 3,900. I'll take 4,000 on the phone.
Yes, it will sell for at least £4,000. But can Angus get more?
At 4,050, sir, yes? 4,100. 4,200, 4,300, 4,400. 450, thank you, sir. 4,500 on the phone it is. 4,550, anywhere is it now? I'm going to sell then at £4,500, all done at 4,500 on the phone.
Yes.
Well done, Angus. Mark's phone bidder seals the deal.
That is absolutely brilliant.
The next lot is an example of what collectors call Petroliana, a vintage cast iron garage sign.
You can fill your garage up with lots of interesting bits today, and that's a good one, petroleum spirit there. There we go, where should be this? I've got 1, 2, 3 commission bids. We go 45, 55, 65, 75. £75 we're out at 75, the sign at 75, 80 in the room. It's against you on the net.
The man in the room is fighting it out with an online bidder.
555, 90, sir, £90 a bid. At 90, 55, 100, 100 a bid. At 100 it is, then at 100. All done, gavels up at 100, 110, just in time. 120, thank you. At 120, at 120.
Signed, sealed and soon to be delivered to the gentleman in the room.
Excellent.
2973.
Can't believe it.
I know.
Next, it's a lot comprising of 6 pieces of World War I themed crested ware.
48, 55, 55, 60, 65 a bid at £65. At 65 it is, then at £65 at 65. 70, £70 a bid at 75. At 75 it is, then at 75. 80, 80 a bid. 85 it is, then at £85. You're hovering quickly on the net. There's a couple of you hovering. 90, 95, 95. Rounded up on. At 95 it is, then crested ware at 95. All done at 95.
Sold to a collector in Stoke-on-Trent.
Yeah, excellent.
Now the gold Victorian pocket watch chain with a fob, celebrating the Green Howards, an old Yorkshire regiment.
Nice, is that? A lot of interest. 250, 300, 400, 440, 460. 460. 460, all done. 406, 480, 480, thank you. 500, it's all on the net. At £500 it is. Are you all right? Yeah. You've got a funny colour. At 500, at £500 it is, then at 500. Selling at 500.
Wow.
A great chain reaction there.
Give him a beer.
Excellent.
Over the next 50 minutes, Angus puts 60 more lots under the gavel. From an assortment of 12 vintage car bonnet badgers
160. 3.
to a set of 3 vintage oil cans.
At £130.
Yes.
It's been an epic auction, taking over an hour and a half so far. But finally, it's time for the last 2 items, Terry's beloved bikes.
Superb is this, the 1928 Humber.
Susan and Trevor have set the ambitious reserve of £6,500 on the Humber bike.
Commission bids that start us off at 4.5, 4.6, 4.7, 4.8, 4.9.
It's creeping up with interest online and on the phone.
5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, 5.5, 5.6, 5.7.
Yes.
It's getting closer.
5.8, 5.9, 6,000 is it now? On the phone, are we interested at 6,000?
Oh dear.
At 5,900 then, we all done at 5.9.
£600 shy of the reserve. It's a shame, but Angus will have to try again at the next auction.
Oh, I thought he'd have got more than that. Never mind.
Maybe they'll have better luck with Terry's other motorbike. But the Velocette has a reserve of £3,500.
Popular bike this way, there we go, we've got 2 phone lines on this one. We start at 2.8, at 2.850, 2.9, 3,000, 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, 3.6, anywhere is it now? 3.6 on the phone.
Get in there.
3.7, 3.8. At 3.7 it is then. At 3,700 then. We all done at 3,700.
Joe's phone bidder in Cheshire will be riding off into the sunset on the Velocette.
It's all right. Happy with that?
Yeah.
Excellent.
The money raised today will go towards renovations to make life easier for Susan's mum Doreen in her new home with her other daughter Caroline. Their target was £8,000. Angus?
Hiya.
Are you all right? You were looking a bit shocked at one point.
Oh, definitely.
Nearly all sold. We didn't get the Humber away. We didn't quite there, but we've got another vehicle sale coming up, so maybe keep the Humber for that. I suppose you'd like to know what you're taking home.
I would.
Yeah. You're taking home £9,686.
Very good.
Yeah, very good, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's going to cover most of the work that your mum needs, so yeah. Which is what your dad would have wanted.
I think he'd have loved to have been around to see you do it. I'm really delighted with that auction. It's been really good, hasn't it?
Yeah. Happy with Angus as well.
Isn't he fast?
Yeah,
So
good.
fast.
Good. Great day out, and we've enjoyed it. Both of us, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Overall, I think they've had a great sale. They've had some real big surprises. The car got away. There was a lot of people after that. We got the Velocette away. You know, 2 out of 3 is not bad. It wasn't just the vehicles. There was lots of things. So I'm delighted with the results, and it's raised enough money to really help.
Angus is off on another job, and this time he's taking valuer and modelling expert Nick with him to Conisbrough in South Yorkshire, home to the 11th century Conisbrough Castle.
I'd always like to own a castle one day, you know.
We just want to be like Lord of the Castle then.
Yeah, or just a little tower would do.
Ashworth Castle.
Angus and Nick are meeting Frida and her sister Eileen to take a look at a collection that belonged to Frida's husband, Ray.
I met Ray at the Empress Ballrooms in Mexborough. Ray was 17 and I was 16. And we got married in 1965. I've got 2 sons, Neil and Kevin. 2 good lads. Well, I'm proud of them.
Yeah.
After 51 happy years of marriage, for the past 6 years, Frida's been adjusting to life without Ray.
He'd been to the dentist's and he collapsed down in Street, booked him into doctors, and he finished up, he'd got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and 4 months later, he died. Never been ill in his life.
When you walked in a room and Ray was there, he lit a room up. He had a great sense of humour. Yeah.
He thought of other people as well.
After his family, Ray's passion in life was model trains.
He loved his railways, really loved his railways. I've never been able to fathom out why. He just loved them, and that were it.
He loved them so much, he spent a lifetime building a huge diorama upstairs in the attic.
It's just sitting there, and I haven't got a clue what it's worth. I'd love Angus to come and have a good look at it all and hopefully pack it all up and sell it.
Sounds simple, but with upwards of 40 engines, 140 carriages, 25 buildings and 30 feet of track up there, I hope you are up for a challenge, Angus.
Although it was 6 years ago he passed, I think Frida found it very difficult saying goodbye to one of her husband's passions, and it sort of sat there.
Angus and Nick have finally arrived to take Ray's massive railway diorama away.
It's not about money, it's about somebody else enjoying it. After 6.5 years, it's time for it to move on. Hello.
Hello, how are you doing? You all right?
Fine, thank you. Yes.
Good. Yeah, it must be Frida,
Frida.
is it? And this is
Eileen.
Eileen. Well, I brought Nick with me today. Shall we?
Yes, coming in.
Brilliant. Thank you, Nick. After you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much. And how long have you lived in this house?
57 years.
Oh, not long then?
No.
No.
It was the first house we bought when we got married.
Oh, wow.
Ray did it all.
Well, he were a plasterer and tiler,
okay.
and Ray won't pay anybody for anything if he could do it himself.
He was a Yorkshireman as well then?
Oh, yes.
Well, shall we take a look at this collection?
Can't wait to see it. Sounds like a bit of an Aladdin's cave.
Yes.
Right, I'll leave you to it.
Okay.
Put kettle on.
Frida has gathered together some of Ray's collection in one of the bedrooms.
Ah, right. So it wasn't just model railway, it had a few railway-related items as well as the model railway?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that I was going to skip.
Oh,
No, you can't do that.
oh yeah.
Well,
It's
because it cracks.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's got a nice plaque on the side, look.
In the days before electrification, handheld paraffin lamps like this one were a vital piece of kit that was used for signalling by the railwaymen.
Oh, that's quite a nice thing, isn't it? Yeah. You don't look convinced.
Tell you I was going to dump it.
Well, I'm glad you didn't dump it.
I'm going to dump
It's too
it.
good to dump.
Some nice boxed up bits as well.
Yeah.
This looks like a Hornby. It's a Mallard.
Mallard was a passenger locomotive built in 1938 that set the world record for the fastest steam engine at 126 miles per hour, a record that still stands today.
I'll just check the manufacturer. Yeah, it's Hornby. We see quite a few of these. These are very popular.
The bulk of the collection's up in the loft, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Nick, do you want to start going through this?
Yeah, we'll
I'll
do.
have a look in the loft and we'll let you put your feet up for a little bit.
Oh. It will be sad to see all the railway things go. It's been there for so long. It was part of Ray, and it's more or less the last thing.
Ray spent over 5 decades designing and building his loft railway.
Wow. I can see why Ray spent hours up here. It's just another world, isn't it? Some people get lost in a book, some people get lost in their model railway layout, and clearly Ray spent many a happy day up here. I can see the fun in it.
Nick is also enjoying Ray's incredible collection of trains and carriages.
So this is a nice set. It's a mainline Manchester Regiment.
In the early 1960s, British Rail replaced steam locomotives on the Midland Main Line with diesel engines called Class 45s. They were all named after British military regiments. This model is the Manchester Regiment. Others had monikers, such as the Royal Pioneer Corps and the King's Own Royal Border Regiment. Bit of a mouthful, eh?
That's about 20 years old, but that's in really good condition still. It does make a difference with models, all sorts of models. If you've got the box with it, obviously still, it just adds the value. If you've got model trains and model anything, keep the boxes.
All this will need packing up, but the bigger job will be dismantling Ray's huge diorama upstairs.
A lot of railway enthusiasts do these layouts, and it's their imagination, their creation, and it's wonderful. The trouble is with Ray's is it's all glued down, stuck down in a loft. So we'll take what we can, but we're not going to get the whole thing out. But that's still going to free up a lot of items that other enthusiasts are going to be able to buy and put into their dioramas, their layouts, and Ray's collection's going to live on forever through other people's collections.
Ray would be really pleased if it went to somebody that got the pleasure out of it like he did. Any money would be a bonus, but if I did get anything decent, I'd like to put it towards a new three-piece suite.
Frida has big plans, but is this collection valuable?
It became quite unfashionable to collect model trains and be interested in trains for a long time, but it seems to have had a bit of a resurgence now.
OK, so there's a chance Frida might get that suite.
Most of the wagons and trains in here are Hornby. I mean, a great manufacturer, been around for quite a long time. They were started by Frank Hornby. He started Meccano, that's how it all started. And then in 1920, he started actually building clockwork O-gauge train models. And then they started going over to electric trains back in mid-1920s. After the war, yeah, they just took off, came out with lots of different ranges of various trains, and they're still going right now.
The thing that takes the time is that slow, painstaking task of getting all little bits gathered up into a box, passing them down a loft hatch and onto the van, but we're getting there, slowly but surely.
Over the next 2 hours, Angus and Nick take over 20 trips up and down the stairs until eventually Ray's collection is mostly gone.
So, we're all loaded up.
All in all, he had a good collection.
It is, yeah, yeah.
I'd like to think, anyway.
And how are you feeling? I know it's not been the easiest, but...
I've got it.
Yeah.
You know,
Mindset now.
It's going.
And will you both be coming to the sale?
No, I can't make it, but Frida's two sons, Neil and Kevin, they are going.
But that'll be nice to share it with your two sons, won't it? Being
Yeah.
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 Right then, thank you very much for everything.
No problem. I'll get the van shut up and we'll tootle up the road and we'll see you on sale day.
Yes.
Lovely.
Yes,
Thanks ever so
thank
much.
Reserve
very
you a
much.
seat at the front.
It's been a good day, really. It's had to happen this day.
Yeah.
For all that stuff to go.
End of an era.
End of an era, yeah. Mm.
Hopefully, we'll achieve Frida's aim, and that's finding somebody like Ray that's going to appreciate it. And that's what's important to her. It's not about the money. 50-odd years he's been spending time up in that loft. And, you know, for her, this will be a huge emotional chapter in her life. I'm delighted that her two sons will be coming with her to the sale. I think that's really good. She's going to have their support, and hopefully we'll get some good results for her. Hey Mark, you all right?
Yes, thanks.
Good.
Ray's train collection has arrived back at the auction house, and valuer Mark has been railroaded into helping unload it all.
He had loads of steam ones. These are all diesel engines. I mean, he had that much rolling stock and engines that when they're all on the layout, they couldn't drive.
All right.
Because there was no spare track left. Yeah.
He liked his railways.
Yeah.
Angus is planning to sell Ray's items at a specialist collector's auction in a few weeks' time. Before then, Nick will have to sort the collection into individual lots to try and eke out the highest prices for Frida. Luckily, Nick's a pro and has been doing this for years.
This is quite a straightforward collection to catalogue. So you just separate them into categories. You've got your actual locos. They're generally the highest value items. Then you've got your wagons and your passenger carriages. And you've got quite a large collection of buildings, which are quite nice, actually. These actually come as flat-packed paper, and then you just pull them out the sheet and basically slot them all together. You had a railway station and so on, and there's numerous cottages and pubs.
Nick's putting all the buildings together in one lot.
This is just a bit of a shortcut. If anyone wants to get a nice range of accessories, they're here, they're already made. If you like your trains, you like your train sets, you're going to be making dioramas. Just a good exercise in sort of fantasy, really. You create your own world.
It's a crisp Yorkshire morning and Frida has arrived with her sons, Neil and Kevin. They brave the elements to see Ray's model train collection go under the gavel.
Well, it's a snowy morning, but hopefully that won't deter the bidders. People don't want to come out, it's fine. They'll all be on the internet bidding, and model railway always sells well. Fingers crossed we have some good results, and this snow turns to sunshine.
Yeah, comic books.
Morning. Are you all right?
Morning. Yes, thank you.
Good. This must be your two boys, is it?
Yeah, that's Neil and Kevin. Yeah.
So they're looking after you?
I like to think they're always looking after me.
Good, well...
Hopefully it'll do well.
I'm sure it will. We've had plenty of interest online. Don't worry if there's nobody in the room, it'll all be internet bidders. We'll be selling to the world, so we'll see where it ends up.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'll let you have a look round and we'll see you up on the rostrum.
OK, we'll see you later.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think this is it. I recognise the lamp.
We were both train spotters when we were kids.
We did inherit the passion for railways, definitely. I remember going up on an afternoon and having a few hours playing with the trains.
No, we used to go playing up there regularly. I remember the Mallard, because that was one of our favourites. This is memories, this.
It brings back memories of him up there, playing with it, tinkering with it, building things, and us playing with it as kids.
Yeah.
It's the last major thing that I've got left of him. It's just sat up in loft, doing nothing. It's time it went, and for somebody else to have pleasure and enjoy it as much as what Ray did.
Around 500 people have logged in online for today's auction, all under the watchful eyes of Emma and Heather. Showing off Ray's collection will be Sam, who's on portering duties. As Frida, Neil and Kevin take their seats and Angus ascends the rostrum, it's all aboard for the auction.
Right, we go on to this absolutely phenomenal collection.
The first lot of the day is the 19th century railway paraffin lamp that Frida wanted to throw in the skip.
We've got £20 bid, 20, 2, 2, 5, £25, commission bid at 25, my bid at 25, you're out on the net, the bid's 25 on commission. It's at 30, what's going on? It's 2, 2, £32, they like this one, at 32 it is, then at 32 for the lamp at £32.
Frida's seeing this one in a different light now.
How are we going to put that in dustbin?
Hopefully Angus will pick up some steam moving into the model trains. Starting off with a collection of 3 steam locomotives, including the fastest one of all, Mallard.
Oh yeah,
There we go, 50, 60, 70, £75 a bid at 75 it is, at 75 it is, £75, 85, 85 on commission then at £85, 85 it is then at 85.
And Mallard has flown off to a bidder in North Yorkshire.
Thank you. 650.
Next, it's all of Ray's railway diorama accessories, including 10 cardboard buildings for anyone wanting to kickstart their own town for their train set.
I've got 20, 22, 5, £25. At 25 it is, then at 25. At 25
You can't
it
get
is,
these
then. At
things
25 it is. 8, thank you, sir. 28 in the room. At been bid at 28. 30, 30. At £30 it is. At 30 it is. They're selling online at 30.
Sold to an online bidder in Middlesbrough. Next to arrive, it's 7 diesel locomotives, 2 of which Sam is holding here. That green one is the Manchester Regiment.
We're off 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, £70 a bid at 75, £75. At 75, on commission at £75 it is then. At 75, we're all done at £75. Selling then at 75.
£75 for 7 engines, not bad.
That was good.
Over the next 10 minutes, Angus puts 12 more lots of Ray's model trains under the gavel, including a group of 8 Hornby passenger coaches and a buffet car.
Don't want them getting hungry. At £42, selling at 42.
And a set of 10 1950s-style T livery coaches, including a sleeping car.
At 42.
There's 2 or 3 really good ones.
Now it's the final lot. A huge collection of 80 Hornby industrial and commercial vehicles. This is just one of 4 boxes.
Rolling stock. There we go. All sorts. There were so many bits on this railway, you couldn't drive on the railway, could you? Full. A lot of interest in this. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 150. £150 are out. At 150, 160, 160, 170, 170. At 170. At 170. At £170 it is then. At 180, 180. We're not done yet. 200. At £200. At 200 it is. He had some good stuff, didn't he? At £200. At 200 it is then. We're all done. I'm selling at 200.
The whole lot sells for £200. A fantastic end to the auction.
Oh, that's wow.
Every last piece of Ray's train collection has found new homes, which was Frida's main aim today. But how much money has Angus raised to put towards her new 3-piece suite?
Are you all right?
Yeah. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you look like you enjoyed that.
Yeah. Well, I never expected all of it, Sally, to be honest. I had visions of me packing stuff in the back of his car.
But there's plenty of railway enthusiasts out there, so
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
appreciated the collection, and they're going to be loved now by other collectors. Well, no, it wasn't really about the money, it was more about finding a home for his collection. But you'll be taking home £625.
Oh,
that's much more.
more than I expected.
That is very good.
Thank you very much. I'm glad my sister got in touch with you. We've really enjoyed today. It's been good, an experience.
We tried to predict what would go well and what wouldn't go so well, and we were completely wrong.
Altogether, it was good. They all sold, which we're happy about. It was a great time. A lot of childhood memories back.
Well, I'm absolutely delighted for Frida. It sold really well. We got some great prices, and you know, she was truly shocked to see it go to fellow enthusiasts like Ray. I think will mean the world to her. It was never about the money for her. It was about somebody having his collection that's going to love it like he did.
Four months later, and in Wyke, Susan and Trevor have been putting the proceeds of their auction to good use.
Mum is doing very, very well. Now she's got a downstairs toilet and the stair lift. It's cracked it, hasn't it? It's made it right for you. Yeah.
Angus has managed to sell the Humber bike.
We're highly delighted, aren't we?
Yeah. And at least it will go into a good home. Somebody who really appreciates bikes.
And they've already found a buyer for Terry and Dorene's old house.
It's all subject to contract, and we're hoping in a couple of weeks we're going to have new neighbours. It'll have new life breathed into it, and somebody else will be enjoying it.